Under CG, we are going to give some clarification and also distinctions with all opening governments. This debate goal is we are going to distinction which kinds of punishment we're going to work on to the corruption case, because we do believe that the corruption case is very harmful now, that there is a lot of cases are just happens and just occur even with the current status quo mechanisms. So first, several clarification and responses to OO. First, on how actually they say that impoverished make a burden to the governments to cater this kind of poor corruptor that being being a poor peoples, right? I think no, government will not going to get that harm under the impoverished, because governments already have a lot of mechanism in demolishing the poverty for all entire people, such as like how actually they inviting companies through Indonesia, for example, create more job fair and also give access to education. I think also there is a prakerja card, that there is a lot of mitigations that like for poor peoples, right, to begin with. Second, even if there is a burdening to this kind of government, I think first it's not going to be that exclusive, because it's like government job is to have the burdens, because because to mitigate all problems in the nations, because like people want to the best from the governments, right? Second, I think they're impoverished corruptor just like few people compared to how actually the 100,000 poor people on our nations, right? So government will not that burden at all, even if this kind of corruptors just being a poor peoples. And the fact that the poverty exists is because the government failed, means that the governments have a burden to begin with. So it's something that that actually all can adjust with the motions. Now, second, on how actually they say that this ex-corruptor who will be in poverty will do other crimes and thief, for example, under impoverished. No, they will not doing this, because they will still have access to job and the field. Because what we do is just impoverish them, take away their wealth, take the problem on whether or not they can get a job is different spectrum of debate, right? Even if they do the crime, I think first there is a like punishments a mechanism for that. Like doing crime, you will go to the jail if you are a thief at the bank, for example. There is a law mechanism work on the status quo. Second, there is also moral obligation that this corruptor do to get a job or to create better name in the society, by keeping doing good things, right? Hence, they are a public, like public representative. Before means that there is a moral burden, they need to rebuild again on the society. So they were not going to do that this other crime after they get this impoverished. So now coming up to my distinctions and also correlate to my arguments. So how actually we are going to distinguish opening government? First, on how actually we are going to about the mechanism. I think what actually opening governments is very blurry mechanism, that they say they're going to just impoverish this kind of person, take away their like their corruption money and so on and so forth. I think in closing governments, we are going to create a mechanism that improve and that this impoverish means that as a government or a state, we will do some like impoverish by first taking away their wealth in the nations, or their money or wealth on the bank, for example. Second, every family who have access to this kind of corrupted money, I think also they will get punishment by taking those facilities, those wealth, and so on and so forth. Second, we are going also to trickle down their money in a foreign country, because a lot of corruptors just like keep their money on the bank of Swiss, for example. So we are going to track this kind of money and like take this kind of corrupted money from another bank on the outside of the country also. So this is how actually we're going. This is why actually we are different with OGs, right? So who can get this impoverished also? That OGs stated that this kind of corruptors who are in government, for example. But as CG, we're going to take the ballot that all corruptor will get this kind of punishments. Different with OG, that we are not going to set impoverished work. Every corruptor neglects their, even in rural area governments, in rural area or even in urban government state, for example. The moment they get corruption case, the moment they will get this kind of impoverished punishments, and that is why actually we're distinct with OG. So first here, what I'm going to clarify to you on how actually why the deterrence is better with impoverished in our side, because OG just gives several reasons why actually this impoverished is effective, but we are going to give to you what actually the benefit of this kind of impoverished to begin with. So the extension is this kind of thing. And the status quo right now, I think rehabilitations is worked for a long time ago, but the case of corruption is still much in the government, that a lot of people, or a lot of actor or bad pressures on the government still do this kind of corruption, can eventually, even with the current status quo mechanisms, punishments. This proved to us that the jail and rehabilitation is not working that effective to begin with. Different with OG, we're not saying that this make corruptor do other crimes again and again. Even if they have chance to do the crime again after the impoverished, I think there is a law binding it. Like if they do crimes like I said before, that they let's say for example thieving or just harming other people, I think there is a law that binding this kind of crime. So and also I think the degree of punishments will be much more, will be new to a lot of people. I think corruptors still come up because the status quo mechanism is never works, right? This impoverished will give more a threat to this kind of corruptors and also other people, because what the corruptors get is something that they want to corrupt, right? They just their money that their intention to do corruption is take away. So that is why actually there is no reason for them to do the corruptions to begin with. Now this money, how actually this money will going to contribute, right? The question is, this corruption money will go to where? So this kind of money will still contribute to the people by building facilities or whatever the corrupted money functions for, right? What here is what the point is that this kind of, after the proposal in our mechanisms, with this kind of impoverished, we can create a blueprint for this kind of crimes of corruption, because this corruption case was very harming. Now this is getting worse and worse. I think this kind of impoverished will give up some blueprint that can help and just better mechanism and like in mitigating the corruption case. It can be also second. It can be also be the alternative to other crimes that have the same nuance as corruptions. We can find some effective punishment like this one. This is proportional because corruption get what actually they have done. CO never proportional. I think because jail is like like they still have they don't have any deterrent effect to begin with when they get to the jail or rehabilitation. This is not proportional because in jail this corruption, this get facility like in hotel. I think there's no kind of proportional that exists under OO, right? That is why I think the idea of proportional is better in our side, because what actually they get with this kind of impoverished is very proportional what actually they have done under the corruption case. So under our side, I think because under our side they don't have access because the wealth that they have is never access to begin with, and that's I'd like to propose. Thank you.